A warm welcome to all the viewers for the course Advanced Manufacturing Technology. Myself Thea Pal, Assistant Professor of Department of Mechanical Engineering, is going to give a lecture session on manufacturing industries and product. So we are talking about advanced manufacturing technology. So obviously we mean to say that nowadays industry is really upgraded with some automation that is playing a very important role in the production rate also. So basically when we will be discussing about the automation, it is obviously very essential for all of us to know that how this automation is playing or capturing the entire market demand. Whenever we are creating a product through a conventional machining process, all of us know that the dimensional accuracy rate of production is not up to the mark. So to get the most extra output within the limited time, that means dimensional accuracy has to be high, production rate must be high, and the cost estimation should be optimal one. So if I look at this particular three parameters, then I must say that automation is one of the other way to get all our desired output. So now today in this lecture I am going to describe the exact scenario of our manufacturing industries and regarding their product. But before we go through the lecture, let's have a look at the content. So initially we will be starting with just a simple introduction. Then we will be talking about the classification of production. Then we will be discussing about the production facilities regarding low production, medium production, high production. Then finally we will be talking about the introduction to automation. Next we will be discussing the basic component of automation system. And finally we are going to discuss about the level of automation. So now let's move to the next slide. It is all about the introduction. As all of you know that manufacturing can be defined as the application of physical and chemical processes to make, alter the geometry, properties and or appearance of a given starting material to make a parts or products. Manufacturing also include the joining of multiple parts to make assembled product. Now the processes that accomplish manufacturing involve a combination of machinery, tool, power and manual labor. Well, manufacturing is almost always carried out as a sequence of operation. So each successive operation brings the material closer to the desired final state. Now from an economical viewpoint, I can say that manufacturing is concerned with the transformation of material into items or great value by means of one or more processing, or even you can say assembling operation is also performed. Now the key point is that manufacturing basically adds value to the material by changing its shape or properties or by combining it with other materials that also have been altered. Now when iron ore is converted into steel, the value is added. When the sand is transformed into glass, value is added. Now when petroleum is refined into plastic, then also value is added. And when plastic is molded into a complex geometry of a patio chair, it is made even more valuable. So basically in this today's lecture we are going to discuss about the survey of manufacturing operation. Basically if I have a look of the history of manufacturing, then it includes both the development of manufacturing process, some of which date back thousands of years, and the evolution of the production system required to apply this process. And our emphasis is to know that what are the basic thing or what are the basic classification of industry that is basically existing in today's era. Manufacturing is an important commercial activities and it is carried out by companies that sell product to customer. The type of manufacturing performed by a company, it depends on the kind of product it makes. So now let us first have a look at the scope of manufacturing industries, and then we are going to consider their products. So as you can see, I have already mentioned in the slide that classification of industries. Basically we consider two types of industry. One is primary industry, another is a secondary industry. So if I talk about the manufacturing industry, then I must say that industry basically consists of enterprise, an organization that produce or supply goods, and or you can say it provides services. Industry can be classified as a primary, secondary and tertiary. Now primary industries are those that cultivate and exploit natural resources such as agriculture and mining. But if I consider secondary industry, its function is to convert the output of the primary industries into a product. So manufacturing is the principal activity in this category, but the secondary industry also include construction and power utilization. Now I have mentioned another industry name also. So you can mention it as tertiary, that is TERTIERY industries. So I was talking about the tertiary industry. Basically it consists or it constitutes the service sector of the economy. Now I am going to say you a list of industry in this category are presented as. If I go for the primary industry, then it includes agriculture, forestry, fishing, livestock, quarrying, mining, petroleum. But if I talk about the secondary one, it is aerospace, apparel, automotive, basic metal, beverage, building material, then you can say chemicals, computer, construction, consumer appliances, electronics gadgets, equipments, fabricated materials, food processing, glass, ceramic, heavy machinery, paper, petroleum, plastic, power utilities, publishing, textile, tire and rubber and wood furnaces. Now if I talk about the tertiary industry, basically it are the services. So under this section, the industry that lies are like banking, communications, educations, entertainment, financial services, government, health and medical, hotels, informations, insurance, legal services, real estate, again repair and maintenance, restaurant, retail trade, tourism, transportation, as well as wholesale trade. So you can see we have discussed about all the various types of industry that basically lie under the classification of your industry, that is the primary industries, secondary industries, tertiary industries. Now in the next slide we will be having a look at the classification of production. So what do you think about production? Do you have any idea? Well, according to our concept, what we basically think about production is none other than that production is basically an operation in the process industry, and it discussed product industry can be divided into further a continuous production as well as batch production. So I have already mentioned here continuous production and batch production. But you can see here we are talking a lot about the continuous production, mass production, batch production as well as shop productions also. So slowly we are going to discuss about the entire point. Now if I talk about the continuous production, basically it occurs when the production equipment is used excessively for the given product and the output of the product is just uninterrupted. And the most important thing is that in this process, or you can say in the process industries, continuous production means that the process is carried out on a continuous stream of material without no interpretation in the output flow. Now the material being processed is likely to be in the form of liquid, gas, powder or similar physical state. Now in the discrete manufacturing industries, continuous production means 100% dedication of the production equipment to the part or product with no breaks for product changeover. The individual unit of production are identifiable. Okay. Next is the batch production. If I talk about batch production, which basically occurs when the materials are proceed in finite amount or quantities. The finite amount or quantities of material is also called batch in both the process and discrete manufacturing industries too. Now batch production is discontinuous because there are interruption in production between batches, and the reason for the using batch production is because of the nature of the process that is required. Only a finite amount of material can be accommodated at one time. For example, the amount of material might be limited by the size of the container used in the processing. Or even you can say there is a basic difference between the parts and the product made in different batches. Like a batch of 20 units of part A followed by a batch of 50 units of part B in a machining operation. And a setup changeover is also required between the batches because of difference in tooling and fixture required. Now the difference in batch production between the process and discrete manufacturing industry are also applicable. Now batch production is the process, or you can say batch production in the process industry generally means that the straightening material are in liquid or bulk form and they are processed altogether as a unit. Now by contrast, in the discrete manufacturing industry, a batch is a certain quantity of work unit. Now if I talk about the manufactured product, then I must say that the secondary industries basically include food, beverage, textile, wood, paper, in fact chemical and basic metal also. So you can see how we have considered the classification of product in this particular manner. So if you have a look in this particular graph, this x-axis represent your volume and y-axis represent your variety. So you can see if your variety is in the lower level but you need in higher volume, then you can see the best is continuous production. But if your variety lies between low and medium, okay, a medium stage, and your volume is also required medium amount, then you can go with the mass production. But if your variety is little bit higher from the medium rate and your volume is also little bit less than your medium stage, then you can go for batch production. But if you want to create higher variety of product, then the production must be at low, and that is applicable for job shop production. So this is none other than a product process matrix system which is helping you to know that if you want variety in higher stage but the production rate will be always low in volume, then you have to go with the job shop production. If your variety lies between high and medium, your volume of manufacturing will be also between low and medium, then you must go with the batch production. Similar way, if I talk about the highest rate of production is required, but the variety level is low, so you can go with the continuous process. Now we will be discussing about the production facilities. So production facilities basically consist of three types of production. One is low production, medium production and high production. So now let's have a discussion about low production. Well, if I talk about a manufacturing company which attempts to organize its facilities in most efficient way to serve the particular mission of each plant, then over the year certain type of production facilities have come to be recognized as the most appropriate way to organize for a given type of manufacturing. Of course, one of the most important factors that determine the type of manufacturing is the type of products that are made. So what we are going to say is that the quantity of part or products made by a factory has a very significant influence on its facilities and the way manufacturing is organized. So production quantity refers to the number of units of a given parts or product produced annually by the plant. Now the annual part or production quantities basically produced in a given factory are classified in the three ranges. So when we are talking about the low production, that means when we are talking about the low production, then I can say that quantities is in the range of 1 to 100 units. Now if I talk about the medium production, then the quantities lies between 100 to 10,000 units. And if I talk about the high production, then the thing is that it consists of 10,000 to millions of units. So you can see how we are basically distinguishing the low production, medium production and high production. So low production means quantities will be in the range of 1 to 100 units. For medium production, the quantities will be in the range of 100 to 10,000 unit, and for high production the quantities will be from 10,000 to million unit. Okay, 10,000 to million unit. Now just have a look at this particular graph. You can see programmable automation. This is the product variety and this is all about the product volume. Now if you go with the programmable automation, your variety of product will be at the top, but as you get decreasing, it is also getting lowered. Means when your product variety is high, the amount of production in volume will be low, and as you decreases your rate of product variety, your increase in product volume will be increased gradually. Now if you talk about the flexible automation, in flexible automation is what? It depends how much parts per year you want to get. If you go for the manual method, then you can see your variety, if it is low, then you can go increasing the production volume also. But fixed automation is high in production because they are associated with similar type of job production. Now the one thing is that the most important thing is that the boundaries between the three ranges are somehow arbitrary. It depends on the type of production that helps to shape the boundary by any order or magnitude. Now some plant produce a variety of different product type, and each type being made in low or medium quantities. On the other hand, specialize in high production of only one product type, and it is instructive to identify product variety as a parameter distinct from production quantity also. Now product variety refers to the different product design or type that are produced in a plant, and different products have different shape and size and style, and they basically perform different function also, as they are sometimes intended for different market. Some have more component than the other and so forth. Now the number of different product types made each year can be also counted, and when the number of product types made in a factory is high, this indicates high production variety. Now there is an inverse correlation between the product variety and production quantity in terms of factory operation. When product variety is high, production quantity tends to be low and vice versa. And if I talk about the manufacturing plant, then it always tends to specialize in a combination of production quality, quantity and variation, and it lies where inside the diagnostic band that we are preferring. Although we have identified product variety as per the quantitative parameter, that is the number of different products type made by the plant or the company, and this parameter is much less exact than the product quantity. Okay, now let's move to the next slide. Now here we are going to discuss about the low production. It's all about job shop, fixed position layout and process layout. Now the type of production facilities basically or usually associated with the quantity range of 1 to 100 units per year, and this is basically known as the job shop, which makes low quantities of specialized and customized product. Now the products are typically complex, such as space capsule, aircraft, special machinery and all those things. Now a job must be designed for maximum flexibility to deal with the wide part and product variation encountered. So if the product is large and heavy and therefore difficult to move in the factory, it is typically remain in a single location, at least during its final assembly. Now worker and processing equipment are also brought to the product rather than moving the product to the equipment, and this type of layout is referred as fixed position layout. So you can see this is your fixed position layout. Now if I talk about the individual parts that comprises these large products are often made in factories, they have a process layout in which the equipment is arranged accordingly to the function of the type. For example, the lathe are in one department and the milling machine is in another department. Is it possible to carry out the operation from one to another? So what we have to do is that for different parts, each requiring a different operation, and that is also in sequential mode. So these are routed through the department in the particular order needed for their processing, usually in batches. So the process layout is noted for its flexibility. It can be accommodated to a great variety of alternative operation sequences for different part configuration also. But it has got some disadvantages, that is the machinery and the method to produce a part are not designed for high efficiency. Now let's move to the next slide. Now we are just talking about the medium production. It consists of batch production and cellular layout. So in medium quantity range, basically it lies between 100 to 10,000 units. And we have already distinguished you between the two different types of facilities that depends on the product variety. So when the product variety is hard, the traditional approaches is batch production, in which a batch of one product is made, after which the facility is changed over to produce a batch of the next product, and so on. Now orders for each product are frequently repeated. So the production rate of the equipment is greater, isn't it, with respect to your demand rate for a single product type, and so the same equipment can be shared among multiple products also. Now the changeover between the production run takes place, and this is called the setup time, or it is also known as changeover time. Now an alternative approaches is also raised to medium range production that makes it possible to produce variety of product in a very short time. So in this case, extensive changeover between one product style and the next may not be required. Okay. It is often possible to configure the equipment so that group of similar parts or products can be made on the same equipment without significant loss of time or changeover, and the process or assembly of different parts are produced in accomplished in the cell, which consisting of several workstation or machine, and the term that is associated is known as cellular manufacturing. And in this type of production, what basically happen is that the different parts or product is accomplished in a cell which consisting of several workstation or machine. Now each cell is designed to produce a limited variety of part configuration, and that is the cell specialization in the production of a given set of similar part or products according to the principle of group technology. And the layout is called cellular layout. So here you can see product planning department is there, product layout is there, fixed layout location is also there. There is a group technology layout is also there, and process layout is also there. Now finally we came for the high production. So the quantity range for high production lies between 10,000 to millions of units per year, and it is also referred as mass production. So the situation is characterized by high demand rate of the product, and the production facilities is dedicated to the manufacturer of the product. So two type of mass production can be distinguished. One is the quantity production and second is the flow line production. So if I talk about the quantity production, it involves the mass production of single parts on single piece of equipment, and the method of production typically involves standard machines. Okay. Now if I talk about the flow line production, so we have already discussed about the quantity production, now we are discussing about the flow line production. So flow line production basically involves multiple workstation arranged in sequence, and the parts or assemblies are physically moved through the sequence to complete the production. Now the workstation consists of production machine and or workers equipped with the specialized tool. The collection of station is designed specifically for the production to maximize efficiency, and the layout is also called product layout, and the workstation are arranged into one long line. So the most familiar example of flow line production is just the assembly line associated with products such as car, household appliances. And the pure case of flow line production is where there is no variation in the product made on the line. So every product is identical and the line is referred as single model production line. Clear? And if there is a production from the viewpoint of production, the model difference respect to the cases of soft product variety, then it is termed as fixed model production also. So you can see this is the job flow, this is the batch flow, production, cellular manufacturing, and this is the mass production. So this is the product layout, this is the cellular layout, this is the process layout, and this is the fixed position layout. Now we have stepped towards the automation. Automation or labor saving technology. Because when you are using automation, that means the quantity of labor that are involving in the work is also less. And this technology by which a process or procedure is performed with minimum human assistance. Automation or automatic control is used for various control systems for operating equipment such as machinery, processes in factories, boilers and heating treating oven, switching on telephone network, steering stabilization of ship, aircraft and most other applications and vehicles with minimal or reduced human intervention. Now you can see this is the basic element of an automation. So first you can see what you are having with us right now. This is the enterprise level and this is the factory level. So factory level, what is there? There is a control system unit which is controlling what? Manufacturing process and assembly operation. Now this control system unit is also controlling the manufacturing system. And you can see this automatic control and automatic technology are used to manufacture the process and assembly the operation. Material handling technology is also used, so they both are associated with the manufacturing process and assembly operation. And this automatic and control technology, material handling technology, basically they both are controlled by the manufacturing system. And this manufacturing system is one way you can see it's supporting the manufacturing system also, as well as manufacturing support system is also supporting the manufacturing system also. So both they are interrelated and you can see it is sending the signal with the quality control system and it is giving the required output demand also. So if I talk about a automated system, then I must say it is used to operate some process and power is required to drive the process as well as to control. The principal source of power in automated system is just electricity, and electrical power have got many advantages in automation or automated, and the following advantages are: number one, first of all, electrical power is widely available at moderate cost. It is important part of our industrial infrastructure. Second of all, electrical power can be readily converted to alternative energy form. It can be mechanical, thermal, light, hydraulic and pneumatic. And thirdly, electrical power at low level can be used to accomplish functions such as signal transmission, information process and all those things. And finally, we are going to talk about the electrical energy that can be stored in a long life battery for use in the location where an external source of electrical power is not conventionally available. So this is the element of an automated system. You can see first of all you need the power supply. This power supply is helping to process. This process is also controlling the system. Power is also used for program of instruction also. Power is also used for control system also. So power is the main source from which it is going to program of instruction. It is also controlling the system, and these both are related with the process to get the desired product. So ultimate you want, that is product. So level of automation, there are 5 levels. Number 1, device level, second is machine level, third is cell or system level, fourth is your plant level, and finally it is your enterprise level. So you have to be aware of this 5 particular level. Now let's have a look at this particular figure. First we are talking about device level. So device level are what? Your actuator, sensor and some other hard components to form individual control loop for the next level. So from here you are going for machine level. And machine level is what? Like CNC machine tools and similar production equipment, industrial robot, material handling equipments, they are all associated. Now this machine level is having a raising level by the cell or system level. Basically it is the manufacturing cell or system, and finally from cell or system level it is getting to plant level. So plant level are those factories or production system level, and finally the flow of goes to enterprise level, that is corporate level or corporate information system. So if you go from this way also you can go. This is level 1 is device level, level 2 is your machine level, level 3 is your cell or system level, level 4 is your plant level, and finally 5 is your enterprise level. So here I end today's introductory lecture regarding the automated industries and production. So in the next we are going to discuss about how automation is playing a vital role in our day-to-day life, how they are connected directly with the industry, how the automation is helping to reduce the manufacturing time also. So if you have liked the video, then please stay connected with me, like the video, subscribe the channel, and so here I end my lecture. Thank you very much.